Hello. For those who don't know, my name is Limbo. This is a Q&A. Here we go. When and how did you start doing the music you love, and how did you find your style? I've always loved what I've made since I was a kid, so I started really loving this limbo stuff about 4 years ago when I started making it, and I've just always been super in love with sounds and creating what my heart feels. So yeah, it's just been a really inspiring process since the beginning. How did you find your style? I don't even know if I have found my style. It's an ongoing process of like learning what I like and learning what other people like, kind of just trying to find what makes you feel good. Do you ever feel self-conscious about your music? If so, how do you get over that? Yeah, all the time. I'm pretty much self-conscious about everything I put out, and I'll release it and I'll listen to it and still be really nervous about it, but I think as an artist you just kind of have to put yourself out there to be really vulnerable, and people are going to judge you and think whatever they are going to anyway, so you might as well put out what your heart says and go with whatever feedback you can get, honestly, good or bad, it doesn't really matter. Getting over that's the hard part. I don't know if I'll ever get over that self-consciousness about, you know, putting my life out there for people to see and hear. But as for right now, it feels good. Getting over it. Just believe in yourself. We're all humans here. We all are trying to do the best that we can, so whatever you make or whatever you do in your life, just be proud, because no one else is doing it the way you're doing it, so yeah. When are you going to show your face? What's your main reason for starting music? I love it. I love it so much. That's my main reason. When you're making music, do you zone out and imagine yourself in a different world? If so, which song brings you to this place when you're listening to it? Yeah, I guess, sometimes. I mean, when I put on my headphones and make something, I kind of just get lost and forget what time it is or day it is, or, you know, how long it's been since I've eaten. So I do kind of get lost in that world, but not really like a physical world where like I see things and stuff. A song that kind of brings that out, I guess. There's one song that I made that's taken off the web, but it's called Self-Awareness Granted, and I made that in a really, really strange place in my life, but it really brings back like what I was feeling, and a lot of my older songs do that. So I remember reading a tweet from you a while back about how you felt you would be more popular if you showed your face. I love your ambiguity, and I feel the mask is a signature style, but I found this to be interesting. Are there other things like this that frustrate you about the industry? Yes. There's a lot of things that frustrate me about being a female producer, about just the way that not even just me, but other females and other producers are kind of looked at, and I think everyone who makes music kind of feels the same. Like, we all know that women are looked down on sometimes. Thank God in this generation people are kind of getting with it and starting to respect and like appreciate women for what they do more, but it's definitely hard being a woman in the industry, and sometimes it's even harder hiding my face because people are always asking to see it, and they always want to know what I look like, and they don't really get the aspect of the mask, and that I am really trying to just make it be about the music, and I know I post pictures of myself and videos and stuff, but that really is just for the visual aspect of Limbo, because I kind of feel like I have to have that in this realm and world of social media and likes and Instagrams and all of that. It's like I would rather just put my music out and have it be just that, but I feel like in order to stand out, there has to be something original and something unique, and I guess this is unique. People like the mask, so yeah, but it is kind of frustrating when I'll post a picture of myself in the mask, and that'll get more traction than, you know, me posting a song that I had written, you know, and spent hours and hours and hours on. And it's definitely the most frustrating part. So, well, my super nice fancy camera is deciding not to work today, so that's okay. We're gonna do it this way. When and how did you know you wanted to pursue music as a career? I don't know. I always kind of looked at music as just my passion, but never really knew what to do with it. I've been creating music since I was a kid, and so when I started singing on my limbo tracks and that kind of got more attention, I decided to sing more on them and kind of try to get as many listens as I could, really. And then airplane mode kind of blew up, and then that's when I decided to take it more seriously. But it's very hard being a musician full-time because you're always kind of worried about the future and worried if something goes wrong with your music, what you're going to do, and always having a backup plan. So it's stressful but amazing, and I couldn't do it without you guys, so thank you so much for listening and supporting and sharing and just being awesome. It's all for you and me. Where does your musical inspiration come from? It comes from a bunch of different places, but I don't really have like a sturdy, like one place that I get my inspiration from, or like one person or one influencer necessarily. It's mostly just from this world and how beautiful it is, and I'm so inspired all the time by the tiniest things, you know, so I get a lot of inspiration from my friends and plants and nature and my dog and my family, and I don't know, the future really inspires me. Life is pretty inspirational. It's pretty amazing being alive right now. Like, look at your hands, like this is amazing. Do you play video games? If so, what's your favorite? Yeah, I do. My favorite game of all time is Zelda, and it will be till the day I die. That game has had such a huge impact on me and my life as a kid and as an adult, and I feel like it's really taught me a lot about just life in general. My cat's name is Navi, too, like Little Fairy. Do you support LGBTQ community? Yeah, duh. Considering I'm a part of that. I'm pansexual, so, I mean, yeah, I'm definitely a big supporter of the community that I'm a part of. Love is love. Love who you want to love. Love overrules all. It's the key to life, so if you love someone, be proud of it, because you only get one life, and you should be proud of who you love and what you love and what you do. What type of dog is Ixie? She's a beautiful angel pit bull, and I am the luckiest dog owner in the world because she's seriously the greatest dog to ever exist. Sorry, other dogs, but it's true. Explain your songwriting process. Okay. For like a sing song, I kind of go in with either a beat or a synth or something that sounds pretty, and then kind of build the song from there with bass and drums and subs and I'm really bad at talking about music, but I can make music. Yeah, make the beat, and then I'll go in and sing on it, and then mix it, and put it out there in the world. It's that easy. Do you think when you blow up that you'll go on tour, maybe Georgia? I really want to go on tour next year, actually. The plan is for next summer, but it's very expensive to go on tour. I never really asked for money, so it's kind of hard to fund a tour and stuff like that. But hopefully I'll be in a good place next summer where I'll be able to travel around and go see you guys, because that's like one of my biggest goals is to hug all of you. So we'll see. Stay tuned. Words you live by? I live by a lot of words, but they're mostly individual words. They're not like phrases. Like peace, love, respect, communication, spirituality, and there's so many words that I live by that I just try to stay really positive all the time and kind of try to have that positive outlook on life, because It is so short, and we're only here for a very limited time, so I just try to put out as much positivity and love as I can. Whatever energy you put out there is what you're going to get back, so I just kind of live by the word love because it's a magical word and it's a magical feeling, and you can't really describe it, you know? So, yeah. When did you start making music? I started when I was a kid, put in piano lessons. I taught myself how to play a song though, and I went back to my teacher and said, look, I learned how to play this song, which is that one that's like da 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 da. And she was like, did you learn it from the book? And I was like, no, I taught myself. And she was like, oh, well, we learn things from the book here. And just totally disregarded that I taught myself how to play that song at like 7 years old. And so I went back home to my mom and was like, I don't want to do that ever again. So I kind of lost interest in making music. And then I was in high school and I went to this show with my friends, a very small show at this place called The Loft in Colorado Springs where I grew up. I saw this show and I was just amazed. My friends and I were just blown away by this performance by a guy by the name of Bradley Hathaway. I immediately went home and found this old guitar that was in my basement, and I tuned it up and started teaching myself how to play from YouTube. I taught myself how to play guitar, and then I started songwriting at like 16, and then put out my first record at 18, and then switched my project to Limbo, which was more producing and DJing and stuff like that. So I've been in music since I was a kiddo, but I've been really taking it seriously within the past probably 4 or 5 years. What is your best song in your opinion? I don't know, but one of my favorite songs of all time is a song that I wrote when I was first starting Limbo, and it's called Late Night Illuminati Talks. That song just has a really special place in my heart, so I don't really consider it my best song. I don't think any of my songs are my best songs, but that one is definitely special. What's your favorite food? I claimed my favorite food when I was like 10 years old, and it's Dippin' Dots. The ice cream of the future, that's definitely my favorite food. I wish there was a vegan kind. There might be, but I just am such a sucker for Dippin' Dots, and like every time I see them, I want them, and I could eat them forever because they're just so fun to eat and delicious, and it's future food. They're little dots of ice cream. It's amazing. What bands or artists are your favorite? Right now, I'm listening to Ross from Friends, amazing lo-fi house artist. I'm also listening to a guy who goes by Touch Sensitive, amazing like kind of disco. I'm also listening to an artist who goes by Chrome Sparks. He just put out a record and every single song is amazing. But yeah, I listen to a lot of different stuff all the time, so it's hard to choose a favorite, but some of my all-time favorite bands and artists would be the White Stripes, the Mars Volta, Bon Iver, the Postal Service, Regina Spektor, Death Cab for Cutie, Bright Eyes. I've learned a lot from these artists and musicians growing up, so definitely up there on the list. Do you like Atlas? I love Atlas. Insanely talented. Yeah, I love them with all my heart. I don't speak with them much anymore. I check up on them pretty often, and they have a special place in my heart for helping me get to where I'm at now. Can you do a face reveal? What's the origin of your cute little cat-like face? So, when I was 13, I got a hold of the internet. I was working a job for my dad at the time, so I had some money saved up. I found this exact mask at 13 years old, and it was the first thing I bought on the web. I bought it, I got it in the mail, and I said to myself, I hope one day I can DJ in this mask. Like, that would be really cool. And then I turned 21. I was living in San Francisco. I got my first DJ gig, and guess what? I wore the mask. Freaking manifested that. Yeah, turned it into reality full time. 10 years later, here I am wearing the same mask. It's pretty wild to think about, but yeah, that's how it came about. What are your favorite songs? Oh man, that's so impossible to answer. A few, I guess, are First Day of My Life by Bright Eyes, Apple Blossom by White Stripes, Elvia by Mars Volta, Last Song for Jaren by Terra Melos, Crimson by Ross and Friends, Your Nails Look Pretty by Hot Sugar, Samson by Regina Spektor. I have so many. It's such a hard question. Share a high school memory that you miss. Oh wow. I had a love in high school, and I had never ever felt that kind of love before. So I am gonna say that I do miss that high school love and going out and skinny dipping in lakes and running around during summertime, just kids in love. Definitely something I miss from high school. How simple life was, you know. Has music always been your career path? If so, what's the backup? Did you ever become discouraged? What kept you going? Music has not always been my career path. At first I wanted to be a therapist, but was told along the way that it takes a lot of math to be a therapist, and so I decided not to do that. I went on to be a graphic artist. I worked in marketing for a little bit, and then music took off, and so I decided to stick with music. But in the future, I would really like to work with kids and troubled teens and adults who struggle with mental illness. That's my main goal, is to just help people. That's all I really want to do in this life. So, did you ever become discouraged? Yeah, with music, definitely. I still do. I'm always kind of scared of the future musically, because I don't know where this is going to take me. I don't know if I'll really be able to support myself, or have a family and support my family with music. So it's a little scary, and I still get discouraged all the time. But I'm never gonna stop. So it's in my blood to make music and to make art. So that'll never stop. But definitely discouraged sometimes. Just gotta walk myself through it and hope for the best, I guess. How are you? How's life? Are you staying hydrated? I'm good. Life is good. I am not staying hydrated though. It's like 111 in LA right now. All my posters are up on my wall or my window because it's just insanely hot, especially in this mask. So I'm gonna chug some water after this video. Thanks for the reminder. Where do you want to be in your music career? Are you ever willing to hang or chat with fans? I want to be able to tour and hug people who listen to my music. I also really want to just be able to spread positivity and send the good message of love and peace, you know, because I see all these radio artists and they talk about love, but it's mostly relationship love. It's not human being love, human to human, I love you, you know. So I really want to just be able to get to the point where I'm able to talk to more people about love and hopefully one day get the message across that we're all in this together and we all feel alone sometimes, but if we can show love to one another, then maybe we'll feel a little bit less alone. We can rely on one another for comfort and security. So that's my goal. Am I ever willing to hang out and chat with fans? I literally try to do that every chance I get. You know, if I travel somewhere new, I'm like, please, someone get tea with me. Yeah, you guys are my friends. You're not even my fans. I wanna know you just as much as you wanna know me. Chatting online, really hard. I really get overwhelmed by messages. In person, I would love to hang out with people, connect with people on a personal level. What's your favorite thing on earth? Love. Will you go on tour to South Asia? I hope so. Fingers crossed. Have you ever made a song and thought it was dumb so you never shared it? Tips to not do that? Hundreds of songs that are unreleased that I just don't feel like they're worthy. I think it's important to be proud of even the songs that you aren't proud of. It's kind of tricky sometimes, but tips to not do that, I guess just kind of tell yourself hey, get over it, put it out there. But also, you know, it's good to know what's good and what's not, and what needs more work and what doesn't. And so, I mean, if you really feel like it's not good enough, then definitely work on it some more and practice some more until you feel confident enough to release it. And if you're at a point where you just can't get it to that perfect state, then just try it. Just put it out there and see what other people think, because there's a lot of different opinions other than your own. So it's good to share and see what other people think. Favorite hobby besides music? Hanging out with my dog. And I've recently gotten into yo-yoing. Favorite type of music? Right now it's lo-fi house. Do you like Cardi B? I couldn't name one song from that artist. I'm gonna say no. I don't know anything about her. Why don't we go to Japan and go to a summer festival in our traditional kimonos? Okay, Tips for anyone going to LA? Yeah, wear cool clothes. There's so much to do here, I couldn't even talk about it in less than 2 minutes. So, will you do more songs with J Squared? Are you playing any more shows in Houston? Jay and I are really good friends, so I'm hoping we get to make some more stuff. I know he's super busy and I'm super busy, so yeah, we're just trying to do our own thing right now, but I'm sure that more songs will come about in the future. As far as Houston goes, I'll probably be back one day. I guess I have a good following in Houston. A lot of people ask me to come back, so I'll put that on the list for the tour. What inspired the cover art for Lonely But Never Alone? It was actually a picture of me and my dog in a park. I'll post it up right now. That picture just really inspired the Lonely But Never Alone thing. Like, I felt pretty lonely in the time, but I was never alone because I had my dog, you know, I had my friends, there's people walking in the streets. It's kind of silly to think that you're alone in this huge world filled with people. So, I mean, even if you feel lonely, you can take comfort in knowing that a lot of other people feel lonely too, even though we aren't alone at all. Favorite type of cake? I'm not a huge fan of cake. I would rather pie. I guess chocolate? Do you feel you can do more because of your anonymity? I wouldn't say that I can do more, but I definitely can pull off things a little bit differently, in a more unique way, I guess you could say. Did your online presence begin as a music artist, or was it something else? I became really attached to the internet when I was like 15 or something. I made a video on MySpace for a layout site. It blew the heck up. I then became a MySpace model. Wow, I haven't thought about this in years, but yeah, I was like a MySpace model for a little bit and would take pictures and do little edits and stuff and make really strange videos, and then I gave that up and decided that this is a better look, so. Have you gotten recognized in public before? No. Why did you choose the name Limbo? I didn't really choose it. It just kind of like happened one day where I was looking for a name and it just kind of popped in my head. Really, really stuck with me. So yeah, I wish I could say that I chose it, but I didn't really choose it. It just kind of happened. Why is your dog so beautiful? I don't even know. I don't even know how she got so beautiful. Gorgeous, isn't she? A true icon. Can you play any instruments? Yes, I can. I can play guitar. I can play a tiny bit of piano. I can play a tiny bit of drums. I can play a tiny bit of ukulele, mandolin, violin, a little bit of recorder. I know everything by ear, so if I pick up an instrument, I'm able to like kind of understand it and play it. What inspired you to write Airplane Mode? I was talking with a guy who lived about 2 or 3 hours away from me. We had never met before, but definitely had a crush on one another, and for some reason we just couldn't get it to work out to where we could see each other, and so I was starting to feel pretty weird about the whole situation, and that's how Airplane Mode came about, and we kind of lost contact, but I hope he's doing good. He definitely knows that the song was written about him, so I wonder if he's seen it lately. Do any events in your life have an influence on your work? Yeah, definitely. I've been through a lot of things in my life. Some I'm proud of, some I'm not proud of, some very traumatizing, some very beautiful. So I've definitely seen my fair share of things. It has a big influence on my music and my art and how I am as a person and how I feel for others. So I try to incorporate everything that I've experienced into everything that I do. Favorite place in LA? I don't even know yet. I think one of my favorite places though is Lake Hollywood. I take my dog to run there sometimes and it's just beautiful and really peaceful actually. Does your dog's name mean something? And how did you come up with it? So, a lot of you know my infatuation with the number 69. It's nothing sexual or like weird like that. I always tell people if you Google angel number 69, you'll kind of get a better feel of why I'm attached to that number. I see it a lot in my everyday life. I wasn't going to name her anything involving 69, but when I called the shelter to ask about her, the last 2 digits were 6 and 9, and so I decided to name her Ixie. kind of like 69. So her full name is Ixie9. That's how I came up with it. IXI, my little baby. Number one book that I recommend to people, it is called Mastery. And it's a beautiful book. It's written by Robert Greene. It looks like this. It's amazing. It's amazing what he's put into words and how relevant it is to succeeding in what you want to do with this life. So yeah, Mastery, Robert Greene, amazing. Do you have a concept picked out for your next album? Yes. The next album is actually almost done. It's gonna come out whenever I feel like it. Keep your eyes wide open. I'm really excited. You guys are maybe gonna like it. I hope. We'll see. What does the song Empath mean to you? It means a lot, really. I've always felt very connected to how other people feel, and kind of like not necessarily a mind reader, but definitely like an energy reader. Like I'm able to kind of put myself in other people's places and feel what they're feeling, and it's a lot to deal with sometimes, and it's a lot to kind of handle, because it's a lot of feelings and emotions, and it's a blessing and a curse, you know, being able to be that in touch with other people and yourself. So that's kind of what the song means to me, you know, kind of being overwhelmed with so many thoughts and emotions and feelings all at once. If you could collaborate with anyone in the world, who would it be? I would probably choose Jack White, because he has been one of the biggest inspirations in my entire life, really. Oh, or Ben Gibbard, Benjamin Gibbard of Death Cab for Cutie. I'm gonna change it to Ben Gibbard because I am so in love with his lyrics. He is one of the best lyricists of our time. I just really, really love his stuff and stay inspired by him always. So that would be a true dream come true. When do you plan on doing a face reveal? How many cat masks do you have? I have 2 of these, and then I have 2 other ones that are crunched up because they were sent in the mail, so they look like pug limbos. They're like smushed in. I don't use those for anything. Are you really stepping away from music soon? I saw your sad post. No. I was just stepping away from the internet for like a few days because I'm so attached that I can only leave for a few days. Oh, sad me. But no, never leaving music, ever. How does one become your friend? Say hello. It's that easy. I want to be everyone's friend, so. Okay, that's about it, guys. So thank you again for submitting your questions, and thank you for listening, and thank you for supporting and sharing and being amazing. I am so moved by you guys' messages every day, and just your support for me as a human being. Like, it really, really means a lot, and oh man, I don't want to start crying. Yeah, I'm just really inspired by you guys, and I really hope that I can keep making stuff that you enjoy. And yeah, I can't thank you enough for being here with me. I love you with all my heart, and I'll see you soon. Catch you on the flip side. Peace, unity, aliens, and limbo. Out.